If social media feels way harder than it should be, this is for you. Fix Your Socials Week starts the 26th of January. It's a completely free challenge for handmade business owners who are fed up of overthinking content and still not seeing sales. Give me 10 minutes a day for 5 days and I'll help you get clear on what to post, what to stop doing, and how to show up online without it taking over your life. No pressure, no BS, no fluff, no trying to keep up with everybody else. Just practical support that actually makes sense. Sign up now at handmadebosses.com/fix your socials. That's handmadebosses.com/fix your socials. The link will also be in the show notes. This is going to be such a good challenge and such a good way to start off the new year. I cannot wait to see you there. You keep hearing people whispering about 2026 trends and you're thinking, cool. But what does that actually mean for my Etsy shop and my bank account and my handmade business at large? Like, great, trends are nice. What do I actually do with them? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the handmade trends that actually matter for 2026 and how to turn them into products, photos, and content that actually sells rather than just sit and look cute on a mood board. So, quick setting of the scene before we start panicking or rebranding everything to beige. You know who you are. When I say the handmade economy, I'm talking about our little corner of the world where people are actively choosing small, human, thoughtful things instead of mass-produced nonsense and crap. And 2026 is not shaping up to be more of the same. We are seeing buyers becoming a lot more value conscious, a lot more picky, and more emotional with their money, which sounds a bit scary, but for handmade business owners, it's actually a massive opportunity if you know how to position yourself. And if you are new here, hello, my name is Steph, and I have been a full-time Etsy shop owner since 2016, 10 years, and I am in the top 0.01% of Etsy shop owners. I have ridden a lot of Etsy storms, right? And now I coach makers on Etsy, handmade businesses, whether it's on your own website or on Etsy or Amazon Handmade or wherever, in-person events, marketing, all that good stuff, and actually turning their shop into something that pays grown-up big girl pant bills. So today, we are going to be talking about how handmade fits into the bigger economic picture, the big shifts in buyer behavior for 2026, trend buckets you can actually plug your products into, how this shows up on Etsy, Pinterest, and social media, and how to research trends yourself without guessing or relying on crappy videos on YouTube. Not this one, by the way. And a really simple, actionable 2026 plan that feels exciting, not overwhelming. If that sounds good, subscribe to wherever you are consuming this, whether it's YouTube or over on the podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do give this video a like because the algorithm, likes. Okay, so section 1 here is what the handmade economy actually is. Now you're going to see me looking down at my screen. I have copious notes here because I want to make sure this video is valuable for you and just not more fluff and BS. So let's start with what we're actually talking about today. The handmade economy is basically the ecosystem of people who make things in small batches, platforms like Etsy, Shopify, local in-person markets and craft fairs, and customers who deliberately choose those things. It sits basically inside the wider economy that is currently juggling rising costs, people being more careful, but also being very, I want my life to feel nice because everything else in the world is chaos right now. So you kind of have this weird eclectic mix of I can't afford everything, and if I'm buying something, I want it to be special and I want it to mean something to me. That is where handmade shines. A mass-produced mug is just a mug. It's just something you drink out of. It's not that deep, right? A handmade mug with a calm, cozy design that reminds them to slow down, that is a tiny daily ritual. 2026 is not about convincing more people to buy stuff like it was before. It's actually about stepping into that role of wanting to make your everyday life feel that little bit better. And if you can see your products and your shop and your entire brand like that, the trends begin to make a lot more sense. All right, section 2, big consumer shifts for 2026. Let's go through a few of the big shifts that I want you to personally keep an eye on. Number 1, value conscious, not bargain obsessed. People are watching their money, sure, but they are not all turning into discount gremlins. They are asking themselves questions such as, is this worth it for me? rather than, is this the cheapest version possible that I can buy? That means they are looking for things like clear quality, products that last, think heirloom quality here, and thoughtful packaging. And also lifestyle images that show how the item is actually going to be used in their lives, in their homes, on themselves even. If your product photos and descriptions scream, I am a considered purchase that will get used, you are in a much, much better spot than shops that feel flimsy or random. All right, so we've covered number one, which is value conscious, not bargain obsessed. The second thing is sustainable, low waste, and low guilt. There is a growing group of buyers who want to feel good about where their money goes. People are actually legitimately losing sleep at night if they go to Primark or go to Walmart and continuously buy stuff that they are going to throw away in 6 months or a year's time. These are not just eco buzzwords, but things like less plastic, things that are refillable or reusable, buying once, using often. They are things that everyone is beginning to ask a heck of a lot more questions about. And by the way, you do not need to become like the perfect zero waste brand. I feel like there is both sides of the coin, and actually a lot of us could do with sitting a little bit more in the middle. If your products already lean towards natural materials, long-lasting pieces, and plastic-free packaging, then make sure you are actually really screaming that in your listings and all over social media, because that is actually a big part of your USP, your unique selling point, what makes you special from other shops that sell other stuff on Etsy. Number 3 is personal, made for me kind of vibes. This is not going away anytime soon. If anything, it's getting stronger. People love names, dates, birthstones, custom colors, little like in jokes. The key here though is not to offer like 47 custom options. That's going to fry not only your brain, but your customer's brain as well. And as we know, a confused mind always says what? Yeah, always says no. The key thing here is to build in a couple of high impact, low faff ways to personalize your product. Number 4 is well-being, cozy homes, hobbies, and slow living. We're talking crochet, kits, wearable blankets, journaling, baking, reading nooks. People are absolutely craving little pockets of comfort and creativity. And it's kind of like, I am understanding why they are. If your products can easily slot into cozy home, mindful hobbies, self-care, reconnecting with others, then you want to start looking at those products like tiny tools for a calmer, nicer life, not just random things I make because I like. All right, so just to recap on section 2, we have value conscious, not bargain obsessed. We have sustainable, low waste, low guilt. We have personal, made for me kind of vibes. And we have well-being, cozy homes, hobbies, and slow living. But stay tuned, because section 3 is where we're going to be talking about trend buckets with product examples. All right, now let's turn those broad shifts into actual buckets that you can design your products around, which sounds bizarre, but trust me, it's going to make sense in a minute. Think of these like drawers, right? Where you keep like your socks and your pants in. Your job is to decide what drawer your shop belongs in and not to try and shove yourself into all of them at once. So bucket number 1 is home and calm. This is anything that makes their home feel a little bit more like a soft landing rather than just a storage unit for their stuff. So examples here are number 1, neutral or warm toned wall art with simple grounding messages. Number 2, storage baskets, trays, stands, trinket boxes, anything that helps organize those little corners and little areas. Candles, wax melts, diffusers that tie into routines like Sunday reset or evening wind down. Textiles like cushions, throws, table runners that make spaces feel cozy instead of ridiculously cluttered. Now, if you already make decor, you can tweak your colors or your styling or your wording even to lean harder into calm and comfort, which is what people, I feel like, in 2026 are going to be really craving. Bucket number 2 is well-being and creativity. This is the I need something just for me crowd. Examples here are journaling kits, trackers, printable planners that are actually really simple, not like massive bundles of like 144 journal pages. Like, people just need it to be easy and straightforward. Art and craft kits that are beginner friendly and do not require 400 different tools or colors that you do not have. Pamper style boxes with handmade skincare, bath soaks, scrubs, all those kinds of things. Affirmation decks, habit trackers, creative prompts as well. If you sell craft supplies or self-care items, think in terms of how can I bundle this into a tiny experience in a box rather than just, hey, here's a thing I made, yay. All right, bucket number 3 is experiences as gifts. People are getting really bored of random clutter gifts, and this definitely does fit in with the eco-conscious thing. People just don't want more stuff to stick on shelves. What they want is, here is something we can do together. Here is time well spent. Or here is an experience in a box. Some examples here are DIY kits for couples, friends, kids, maybe subscription boxes with a new mini project each month, or vouchers for custom pieces with a nice physical gift card, like wrapped up in a nice box that they can hand over, or host a cozy night in with snacks, candles, and activities. If you already do kits, could you create a date night or craft-a-noon or family night version for 2026? Bucket number 4 is digital and physical hybrids. This is where things get really fun. Pairing digital with physical gives buyers that flexibility, especially if postage gets more annoying in 2026, which it's probably bound to. A printable planner with an optional physical cover or stickers that you can buy as an optional extra or an upsell or an add-on. Digital art prints plus a premium printed option. Craft patterns with a physical starter kit for materials. Templates plus a physical example that they can gift. If you are already dabbling in digital and you have patterns and designs that live in your head, 2026 is a great time to actually bring them out and pair them with what you already sell. Okay, let's recap section 3. We have bucket 1, home and calm. Bucket 2, well-being and creativity. Bucket 3, experiences as gifts. And bucket 4, digital and physical hybrids. Now let's move on to section number 4, which is where we're going to talk about platform and visibility angles, like how all of these trends show up in the way you market your business. Trends do nothing if nobody ever sees your shop. If you do not get traffic, you do not have a business, right? Because traffic and profit is a lifeblood of every single business. So let's talk about visibility. The first one you're all going to be dying to know about is Etsy search. Now, what I want you to think about is phrases that people actually type in when they are in these moods. So with the home and calm bucket, they're going to be typing in things like cozy living room wall art or neutral bedroom decor set. If you're talking about the well-being bucket, they're going to be typing in things like self-care gift box for friend or journal starter kit. For experiences, they're going to be typing in things like date night craft kit or family activity box. For digital and physical hybrid, they're going to be typing in things like printable planner with stickers or embroidery pattern with kit. Now, these are keyword phrases that we have researched and we think are going to be massive for 2026. So if you need to save this video, rewind it, write those down, I highly recommend that you do. Your job, though, is to weave those kinds of phrases into titles, tags, descriptions, and even attributes, if need be, in a way that still sounds like a human description, not keyword soup. Now let's talk about Pinterest, because Pinterest is basically a gigantic trend search engine. So you want to be creating boards like 2026 cozy home ideas or self-care rituals or craft nights in and slow living gifts. Please do make sure to pin your products in context, not just in a white background. You really don't want to be using the same photos that you do on Etsy for Pinterest. You want to make sure that you're kind of selling the lifestyle behind your products on Pinterest, because white background photos and Pinterest, they don't really mix. So show the mug in a cozy reading nook. Show the kit laid out on a table ready for a craft evening. Now let's talk about TikTok and Instagram. Content that will play nicely with these trends in 2026 are spend a slow evening with me whilst I do the thing, create my product, whatever your thing is. Before and after corners of your home with your decor or storage. Packing orders with a focus on sensory things like textures, cozy audio, all those kinds of things. And also a quick tip style content like 3 ways to use your Sunday reset kit. or how I use my insert product here to switch my brain off at night. I know that marketing instead of making feels like a bit of a drag, right? It feels like one of those unpaid jobs that you never signed up for. And if planning that kind of content really just makes your brain want to clock out, this is exactly where the social media sidekick can save you hours, all for the cost of a fancy takeaway a week. In fact, we ordered Domino's pizza a couple of nights ago and I was like, dude, for this money that I've just spent, I could literally get my marketing for my handmade business done for the entire month. Like, that is crazy to me. In the SMS, every single month, you get plug and post captions, Canva templates, hooks, hashtags, and a full content calendar. Basically, your marketing done for you, built around these trends, built around the things that actually makes handmade buyers stop and care, not just scroll on past. So instead of guessing what to post to ride these trends, you can plug in what we give you, tweak your brand, post it, schedule it, done, and then get back to making cool stuff. If that sounds good, I've popped the link to that below, or if you want to go to handmadebosses.com/SMS, handmadebosses.com/SMS, for $34.99 a month, you can get everything you need sorted. Okay, let's move on to section 5, how to research trends yourself. Here's something that I really need you to hear. I do not want you relying on random TikTok trend forecasts to run your entire business. I spoke to a lady a couple of weeks ago who changed her entire business based on an Instagram reel that she saw, and it plummeted her entire business. And it was one of those moments where you're like, that's gotta hurt. But we managed to turn things around. Everything's good now. But honestly, please do not do this. You basically need your own little system. So here are some places to look. Number 1, Etsy search suggestions. If you start typing in the search box, self-care gift, cozy home, craft kit, something like that, you are going to see a drop-down menu of auto-completed searches. Those suggestions are literally what people are searching. And to be honest, it's gotten a lot better since like 2022, where we started doing this, and the autocomplete things are really weird. It's gotten a lot better. So definitely use the search bar. Number 2, Etsy Marketplace Insights, if you have it, is such a good place to check. And it's great for seeing what categories are growing, what is seasonal, what price points things sit at, etc. Number 3, Pinterest trends and Google trends. Type in slow living, cozy home, journaling, craft kit, and look at when they spike and what related search terms pop up. Number 4, believe it or not, is your own customers. What are they asking you for in messages, custom requests, repeat purchases? If 3 or more people are asking for the same or similar thing, that is not a fluke. That is something you need to get on ASAP. And also, lastly, your social stats. Which posts get saved, shares, and comments? And pay attention to the themes of the posts that are doing the best. The aim here is not to become like a full-time trends analyst, but it is to check in on the regular so that you are nudging your products into the trends that matter the most, and I guess nudging your business into the direction that people are already moving in. Section 6, positioning and brand fit. Now, the important bit, trends are seasoning. They're not a whole new personality thing. Meaning, if your brand is bold, colourful, and playful, you do not need to turn into a beige stoneware influencer just because calm neutrals are in. Instead, you ask yourself, what does my version of calm, cozy, or self-care look like? Maybe it's colourful cozy, not beige cozy. Maybe it's bright journaling tools, not minimal monochrome. Maybe it's fun, quirky self-care gifts instead of like spa hotel vibes. So what you're going to keep is your core style, your tone of voice, and your ideal customer. These things do not change. But what you tweak is your colors slightly to match color palettes if it feels right, and only if it feels right, your listing copy to use the language people are using in 2026, and your photos to show the situations that people care about now. This is the lifestyle images that I was mentioning earlier. You can also introduce like limited editions or seasonal ranges that nod to trends without ripping your whole shop up and starting again. All right, homework time for you, and then I'm going to point you to your next step. So this week, do this for your 2026 prep. You want to, number 1, pick your main trend bucket. These are home and calm, well-being and creativity, experiences as gifts, or digital and physical hybrids. One main bucket and maybe a side bucket. You're not doing all 4 things here. Number 2, brain dump 5 product tweaks or ideas. Based on the bucket that you've chosen, write down 5 ways you could tweak existing products, bundle them, or create one small new offer that fits into 2026 buyer behavior. Step 3 is to update 2 or 3 listings. Choose a couple of key listings and I want you to refresh the photos to show them in a relevant 2026 context and tweak your titles and descriptions to match the kind of phrases buyers will be using. Number 4 is to create one trend-led piece of content. So for example, slow Sunday with my product reel, whatever your product is, or 3 ways to use your product in an evening routine, or cozy corner makeover using, you guessed it, my product. And if you want some help with this, so you want some help turning all of this into consistent content that actually gets seen instead of yet another, I want to market more in 2026 resolution, then listen up. Have a look at my social media membership, or the SMS for short, because every single month your social media for your handmade business is basically done for you. You have plug and post captions. You have Canva templates professionally designed for you. You have hooks, hashtags, and prompts, and a full content calendar that is built around these trends. It's $34.99 a month. You can cancel it at any time. No contract, no lock-in. Go to handmadebosses.com/SMS. I will pop the link below. And it's honestly going to help you turn those big picture ideas into tangible things that actually get you more traffic in 2026. But for now, my loves, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you same time next week for another episode of the How to Be a Handmade Boss show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you never miss the next one. And also, why not come and hang out with me on Instagram? It's at Handmade Bosses for daily tips, behind the scenes. And also don't forget, you can catch the video version of this podcast over on YouTube too. Until next time, keep going towards your handmade business goals, boss, because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.